Now, on Saturday, August 27, 2016, the Charismatic Evangelistic Ministries will host the Physically Challenged at the Independence Course, christened A Day of Help. And the church will donate foodstuff, some buckets, and also offer free medical care to any physically challenged person who goes to the Independence Square. Now, ahead of that, my colleague Derek Akosam sat down with the General Overseer of the Charismatic Evangelistic Ministry, Reverend Steve Mensah. They talk about this event, but they go on to talk about a lot of other things affecting us generally as Ghanaians, even the elections. So stay on for this conversation as my banner this morning.
Thanks for your time today on our show. I'm speaking to a very great person. He's a man of God. He's got love for God, for the needy, the destitute, and most importantly, he's also got love for the physically challenged, or what you would call the disabled. And we are very privileged to have you on our set today, Reverend Stephen Atapinian Mensah.
Thank you.
I never knew you were a twin.
Yeah, I've been a twin all my life.
So how come we didn't get to know about that part? Because we've always known you as Reverend Stephen Mensah.
Yeah, I know, but a whole lot of people also know that there's a Stanley Mensah too. So those who come to my church and close friends and associates are aware that I have a twin brother who is my deputy.
Oh, your twin is also in the ministry?
Yeah, he's also in the ministry with me, and he's my deputy.
So how did you come into this in the first place? Has it always been a dream to become a man of God?
Yeah, I think that it's been my dream to become a man of God, especially when I got born. First, I wanted to do medicine. And then when I got born again, then I felt that there was a call of God upon my life to become a minister. And my brother also felt the same thing, that he also wanted to become a man of God. So we entered into the ministry together.
Okay, so let's talk about your love and your passion for medicine. At what point did you realize that you wanted to do medicine, and how did you feel when you realized that, well, maybe I would rather want to be a doctor in a different way, but not in the surgery ward or the surgical ward?
Yeah, especially when I started doing ministry, I started going to rural communities, and we started having free medical care in addition to what we do by way of preaching and all that. Then I realized that even though I didn't fulfill my dream of doing medicine, I realized that I was doing it in a certain way. And as at now, it's part of my bigger vision to build a 200-bed hospital, which I'm drawn and I'm working on it.
Have you already started that project?
I will start it very soon, maybe next year.
Maybe 200-bed hospital in Accra?
Yeah, okay. In a certain community, I don't know, there are about 2 locations I'm working on, which way I want to site it.
Let's speak about your life as a preacher who has love for people in the rural communities. When you get there, usually some have a difficult time accepting you. How do you get yourself to gel and bond with them?
You mean the rural communities?
Yes, the rural communities.
Oh, they are there, and I don't know whether you live in a rural area before, but if you live there, realize that very little goes on in those areas. And even though we had our ministries in the great city and everything, we realized that friends and colleagues and people in the rural communities are most of the time not connected to programs that are done in Accra. If there's any great man of God coming, Benny Hinn, Maurice Cerullo, everything is in Accra. Those who are there, except maybe they know somebody and they want to come and stay with the person and attend the program, they are totally cut off. So we decided to just carry whatever we've learned here from this great man of God into the rural communities and impact them with the knowledge that we have received.
And the Bible says that we should go into the world and preach and make souls and win souls for God. Do you think that as Christians, we've done that to a large extent, especially in the rural communities?
We've done it to a certain extent, but I think that the rural communities have been neglected. They have been neglected not only by the churches, even by politicians and all that. Most of the time, nothing comes out of there, and there are not enough infrastructure to hold meetings and things. So, and people also don't find it too attractive to go there because there are no sleeping places, there are no guest rooms, no hotels, and all that. So when you want to go there, there are no potable drinking water, drink from the rivers and all that. So sometimes if you consider those things, you may not like to go and do any work there. But we too, we enjoy working there because they are also fellow citizens of this nation, and then God's children who must be evangelized and must also be pointed.
So how do you psych yourself up to go to the village? Because when you get there, no potable water, you don't have the comfort of your bed, but you need to gel with them. They need to accept you as one of them. How do you psych yourself up to get there and then win them for God?
Yeah, we get there. First of all, we just don't get there. It takes us about sometimes 3 to 6 months to plan one major trip to the rural communities, and then we anchor in a bigger city, and then link up all the villages and cottages all around the bigger city, and then we bus them all to the place, and then the kind of message we preach to our people there, and then the support that we give to them makes them feel that they have been accepted, both by the church and also in the kingdom. So there's a lot of planning, a lot of work, a lot of back and forth with opinion leaders, chiefs, and everybody connected to them, map up the whole area, get a good place for our people to sleep. Sometimes we sleep about an hour or an hour and a half drive to the community, because there are no sleeping places there. There are no guest houses there. There's nothing there. So sometimes, for example, we want to go to a place like Jirapa. All right, we have to sleep in Wa and drive 1.5 hours to Jirapa to do the crusade.
What would you term as your biggest rural outreach program?
The next one will be the biggest.
Oh, but it's yet to happen. How can you tell us the biggest?
Because every one I do is bigger than the previous one.
Okay.
So the last one we did was at Ho. I think it was about maybe the biggest. I don't know. Maybe that one in Techiman. Maybe one of the biggest. Yeah.
How many souls did you end up winning?
We don't have numbers.
Okay.
Thousands of them come to Christ. And because we work with the churches, with the local churches and the councils, they just work with us, and then we ask them to help us take care of the souls, follow them up, and take them to churches and establish them. Because after our rural community crusade, we are gone.
Let me pick your thoughts on this issue. You spoke about the fact that the politicians have also neglected the rural areas. You've been doing rural evangelism for a while. You think that politicians and our successive governments, you think that they've done well in these rural areas?
They've done their best, but their best is not enough. A lot of infrastructures are lacking in the rural communities. And our rural communities are more. So even though the government is stretching herself to be able to create a lot of infrastructure in the rural communities, they've done their best, but it still is not enough. When you go there, you won't find so many things, schools, hospitals. We do a lot of medical outreach. One of the strengths of our church is medical outreach. And when we get to the communities, we want to link up with the clinics, the hospitals, so that we can bring in our doctors who work with us. And when you get there, there's nothing there. You will find a lot of things. You can see that the hospital is lacking. So we have to move everything there and then take over the clinic or the hospital, and then we do a lot of surgeries, so many things. And you'll be surprised. People are living with goiters, hernias for years. For years, 17 years. He has a goiter, he has a spleen, he has toothache. There are no dentists there. Some of them have eye problems. They are not optometrists, they are not ophthalmologists. They are lacking a lot of things. That's why I'm saying that the government is doing her best, but it's like more needs to be done.
What do you think they need to do?
To build more infrastructure for the people and send more health personnel to these areas. They are there, but they're not enough. You can see a whole hospital, maybe just a doctor. I remember when we went to Jirapa, there was only about a doctor or two in the whole of the hospital, and most of the patients were lying on the floor. We have to give them mattresses. We go to the gynae session and all that. There were a lot of things lacking there.
And for a man of God who has love for the poor and the needy, I think those were very trying times and disturbing times for you.
Yeah, it were very trying times, especially those who were living with conditions that could have been corrected with surgeries. You see, we just see the person has a hernia, a growth. You can see that just about maybe 30 minutes or 45 minutes of operation, the guy could be free. But he's living with it for 11 years. You see, and he lives in a village, and he comes into the bigger hospital, one where he can't afford it. He hasn't got the means to even travel down there. So we realize that hospitals must be carried to the doorstep of the poor. You see, and right now we have dental vans. I remember the first time we took our dental vans, we rented dental van to one of our outreaches. We had a queue almost about a mile long of people wanting to to use the dental valve. Yeah, and they were there. They did over 680 extractions. You know, have you seen a lot of tooth in a bowl before?
No.
It's not a very pretty sight at all. Very decayed tooth, buried. And these were people, they traveled miles to be there because we brought a dental van. We rented it from Kolebu, and then we took it there, about 2 of them. And it was very fulfilling, and I felt that we can have more of such vans so that we can carry the hospital to the doorstep of the poor. And it should be free for them. It should be free for them.
What
we do it free for them. The church pays for it, but it's free for the people.
And that gives you a lot of joy, I guess.
Oh, it's the best thing. And I have footages you can't show on your TV because they are too graphic for you to show them. Yeah, there are very naked footages and a lot of very traumatic, especially children who are plagued with diseases and things that needs to be treated.
The argument usually is that for the political arena, you have a lot of people professing to be Christians, but it appears the system is not working. Should that be the case?
Which system is not working?
Well, you have a lot of issues of corruption. You realize they say this man has done this bad thing. And then there's the politics of insult as well. But these are Christians.
No, let's take the first one.
Okay.
Personally, I haven't seen anybody being brought on the media to say that this guy or this person has been corrupt. Because of that, he's been labeled with these charges and he's been prepared to face. And there's nothing like that in this country. We just hear that people are corrupt, but who has been charged with corruption? Nobody has been charged with corruption. I don't know of any.
Not too long ago, we had Anas Anas's case with the judicial system.
Yeah, but that one is like an investigative journalist work. And I don't know whether the people were prosecuted.
Well, some of them were dismissed from this service. Some of them were asked to go home. Some others are still in court battling their dismissal and all of that.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I haven't followed that story. But we don't often have people who have been caught in the act of corruption and brought to go. If this guy hadn't gone to hide cameras and things, I'm sure that
Let's look at the politics of insults bit. You think Christians should be indulging in that?
No, I'm a joy person. I listen to joy a lot. Sweet Melodies, joy. And on those channels, I don't hear a lot of insults. So I don't know which channels the insults take place.
Well, not on our stations per se.
Yeah, that's what I don't hear insults on joy. If you call in joy, because I'm a morning show listener, if you call in, you want to say something that you can't substantiate or you use very well, they will just cut you off because they don't want to promote that.
But I guess you read the newspapers. You have people.
I'm a newspaper person. I don't read too much newspapers.
So you primarily listen to joy. But the issue is that
Sweet Melodies.
Others think that we should have had a better country now with Christians at the helm of affairs. But they don't feel that.
But our problems are many. Our problems are more than we can handle.
But most of these problems are caused by humans.
Because of those in authority. Sometimes there are other external factors.
Like you're a man of God, you see a lot of things.
All those things. I think sometimes a lot of conditionality. Look at it. We've got oil in our country, but we don't see the impact of the revenue of the oil in our economy. Because I think that there are a lot of agreement that people have gone into with these oil gurus, and maybe we are not benefiting a lot. I don't know. Yeah, I saw something like $3.3 billion from revenue from oil, blah, blah, blah. Hearing those things. The other day I heard somebody saying that even though they are drilling oil around them, their state, their economic state and social status have not been improved. I wasn't sure whether I heard it right, but I think that our politicians should really see the interests of our people whenever we are going to any agreement, so that the impact of our revenue will be felt by our people, especially our brothers and sisters in the rural community. I don't know whether you live in a rural area before. Sometimes it's very challenging to be. That's why they are all moving to the town, selling dog chains, selling PK and things, but they don't want to live there anymore.
You think that is because our politicians do not think of us as a people?
They think of us, but I don't know whether they are overwhelmed with the work or sometimes they don't know what to do, or maybe the resources are not enough. But I think that we can, I'm hearing campaign promises like they are going to create factories in every region or whatever. If those things are possible, then we should make them happen. If they are possible, if we can do, then we should make them happen. Because if there are factories in every region or every district, as you are saying, it means that there will be more job creation. You see, sometimes, I don't know whether it's a campaign promise or something that they have calculated and they really want to do it, they think they can make it happen. But I think that if they can make these things happen, then they should make them happen. So that it doesn't just become a campaign promise that I will build factories in every district. I don't know which of the flag bearers.
I think that's the NPP.
I think so.
Flag bearer.
Like and then somebody like Park Kwesi is really pushing for job creation. That man is an experienced person who has created a lot of jobs, built a lot of businesses. Even if he doesn't win the election, such a person should be roped into government.
You are calling for an all-inclusive government?
Yes, I think we should promote that.
But will our system allow that? Our system doesn't look like
we should
allow something like that.
We should make it happen. Because that guy is so intelligent, he has a proven record, he has built businesses, so we need his expertise. Otherwise, the guy is standing alone with his ideas, but because of politics, we cannot import his ideas into the government to create more jobs for our people. Unemployment is so bad in our country. A lot of people are unemployed. People have come out of university, they are there without jobs. Meanwhile, we have a lot of natural resources in this country to be able to create more jobs for our people. So I think that if we're able to do an all-inclusive government where we are tapping from MPP, tapping from CPP, tapping from PPP, and we bring I think we'll have a better country. And people are honest and corruption is removed from our country, we'll have a better
But how do you eschew corruption?
By talking about it. Preaching against it.
We've always spoken about that. I'm sure you've had you have on a number of occasions, countless ones, of course, stood on your pulpit, spoken to your members about corruption. But we still hear cases like
our issue is poor revenue for our people, and there's poverty in the country. You see, our people are poor. Our people are naturally very poor, and then more so, when people are in places of authority, I don't think that people normally would think of the welfare of the people. You see, if everybody would think of that, and I'm in this position to use my influence to create jobs for my district, for my constituency, and then it's not for me, but for the people. I think that if people begin to think that way, everybody will use his influence to create opportunities and jobs for our people. I think most of our people are poor.
You think that the members of parliament have not served as well?
Well, I think they can do better. They've done their best, but they can do better. Everything that we are doing now is great, but we can do better.
You spoke of Dr. Papa Kwesi Nduom, the PPP's flag bearer. He says that should he win the election, he would cut the ministers down to about 40.
I don't know how he's going to do that. But if he can do it, well, that would be very good. But I'm more interested in his job creation abilities. Because I feel that when he joins the government or whatever, I don't know, it will create he will use his ideas to create more jobs for our young people.
Is he your favorite politician?
No.
Do you have a favorite?
No. I just enjoy listening to all of them.
But you would vote this year?
Well, maybe. I'm not too sure what I'll vote on.
Why not too sure?
Well, I don't know where I'll be.
You don't know where you'll be, but if you're in the country, you would vote.
Because sometimes when I'm planning my itinerary, I forget that there's voting to involve.
Okay, so initially it was November 7th, then it was moved to December 7th.
Yeah.
What do you make of the change in date?
I don't know why they didn't stick to the November 7th, but I think if they have stuck to it, that will give us a better footing for us to take off in December. But I don't know whether now we are going to go into January to do the swearing in and all.
Because the processes were not duly followed. They had to lay an LI and all of that, but it delayed. So primarily we'll have to stick to our original December.
But let's say that we don't have a rerun. I mean, we don't have a runoff. Because if you have to, then it is going to go further and all that. You,
a man of God, you are saying let's pray. We don't have a runoff. Have you seen that we'll have a runoff?
It's going to be closely contested.
Okay.
If we want to fall on the last 4 years' results and the way they were very close, it looks as if It's going to be very, very, very close. I suppose so. Maybe a third force may sweep in the votes. But as it looks nice,
what could be that third force? Has God revealed to you who's going to win the election?
No, but if I want to follow what I'm reading in the tabloids or watching on TV, I can see PPP becoming a strong third force. I mean, the guy is pulling.
I get the sense you have love for PPP.
I love it because he's going to create jobs for people.
Okay.
I think that part. I love that part about him. Yeah, the fact that he's very passionate about job creation in the country, and I think that NDC now is doing her best to create a lot of jobs for the people. They are doing their best. You know, every government is trying to. I think that naturally our country is overwhelmed with problems. Apart from the energy crisis, we have that crisis. We have a lot of strikes. People are looking for better pay. You see, those things mad the vision of the presidency in thinking and forging ahead. We have a lot of challenges. Health, our NHIS, our water situation in the country, whatever. So it's like the government wants to tackle this. While tackling this,
then there's another issue.
Yeah, so sometimes you can't blame them. They are overwhelmed with a lot of issues, and I think they are doing. Sometimes I wonder how they are even making it, because even me running a church, there's a church and a couple of branches. It's not easy. This branch is calling for the other branch wants a property. This one wants, I want to buy a land. I want to start building. I want this. And just managing just the branches alone is overwhelming. So I can imagine managing a country. You see, managing a country can be very challenging. And Ghanaian, the way we are, sometimes we are not too considerate. We want this and want it now and all that. So,
but should we be considerate? Because we've elected them to serve us, and so when we need something from them, don't you think we need to demand for it?
No, but countries like UK, US, where their economy are better, where democracy is well entrenched, even they are having challenges, problems. When I travel to the UK and I hear the way the citizens and some of our brothers and sisters are talking, you can see that they wish they were in Ghana. They wish they were in Ghana.
But they can't return because
they don't have money.
They are better off.
Can you believe that people are fasting and praying to get money to buy ticket and come to Ghana?
Oh, really?
Fasting. When we are fasting and praying for the Lord to use us to win, so they are fasting and praying to get money to buy ticket and come home.
So it's more like a tale of two cities. Whilst others here are fasting to go there, they are fasting to come down.
I don't know why you want to go and live in the UK or go to US any of that. I don't think you should live here and go and live there, because we travel there, we minister, we go to conferences and things there. It is not easy for them at all. They are also struggling to manage their economy. So it's not like Ghana is. We are in the pit, and the other countries are on top of the hill. They are also having their crisis. Germany, we go to Germany, they also have crisis, unemployment here and there. So it's not like Ghana alone. All the flood issues that we are having here, go abroad. They also have a lot of flooding. Cars and things are being carried away here and there. But sometimes I think that we make a lot of noise about very little things.
No little things. Yeah. Much ado about nothing, really.
Because hurricanes, flooding and things, they are all over the US and UK, carrying buildings and properties and things. I mean, in Japan here and there. So the flood situation that we have here is not. Is even though I won't say it's normal, it happens in even well-developed countries where they have drainage system and all that.
Are we expecting too much from our leaders?
I think sometimes we're expecting too much from them. Sometimes we want them to perform magic. But even me as a pastor, pastoring a church, my members are always looking forward to a better way of serving them. I have people who have issues, marital issues, those who want to go to school, those who have accommodations. And sometimes when I look at the income of the church and the expenditure and social intervention that we must make in the lives of some of the people, we have to turn some of the members down. We have to reduce, we have to downsize what they are asking for. Just church, just a single church. So you can imagine a country.
You are the leader of a big church, the Charismatic Evangelism Ministries. I hope I got it right.
Evangelistic Ministry.
Evangelistic Ministries. What do you think of men of God offering their pulpits to these politicians to campaign in? You think it is right?
I don't think that they offer the pulpit. Okay. The politicians request for it. I had a call last week that Law Ivan, Communal Green Street wants to come to church on Sunday.
Yeah, but he's only coming to worship.
Yeah, he's coming to. So when he came, I welcomed him myself, gave him a place because he's in a way he's physically challenged. I have to create space for him to sit in his blue chair, and then obviously protocol demands that he brings greetings and he says a few words here and there. So when the time came, I introduced him. I made sure I got it right, so he wrote his name and whatever he was doing. I gave him an opportunity. Whilst he was greeting the people, then he said, "Reverend, can you give me 2 minutes to just say a few things to my..."
So he started campaigning.
Yeah, so he just said a few words and campaigning for the people. And I think it was okay. It went down well with the people. They rejoiced. My people, they hail everybody. So when people come, they will hail them. Everybody will hail everybody.
But it doesn't mean they vote for them, right?
No, it doesn't mean they will vote for them. The people they want to vote for, they have already decided. But they will encourage you by shouting and hailing you and everything that you say. But they have already decided who they want to vote for.
But what do you also make of pastors being tagged as NPP, NDCP, PCPP, GCPP?
I don't think they should tag us.
Why?
Well, because some politicians tilt towards a particular faith because maybe of their activities and all that. So I don't think that is. For example, my father, the Archbishop, he welcomes all the politicians in his church. You can't say it's an NDC pastor, bishop. You can't say it's an, because I see President Kufuor going there, Orange going there, and all of them going there. So, and that's how it should be. We are all for the people. We are quite neutral when it has to do with party affiliations. I have all of them coming here.
But how do you feel when you're tagged? Have you ever been tagged?
I don't think so. I haven't heard if they are tagging me. I'm not aware. Yeah, because. And I've been told that MPP wants to come and say a few words. I'm ready for them.
But they're all saying very few words, right?
Yeah, very few words. They want to come here. And last 4 years, they were here. And I gave them the opportunity. They say whatever they want to say. And then the gentleman who was with, what's his name? Forgotten, a certain gentleman.
Dr. Abu Sakara?
Abu Sakara, yeah, I think
the
so.
CPP?
CPP, yeah. He also came, he also shared his whatever. And they left. I think there are a couple of them came before the election. And I'm expecting them, if they say they want to come.
Your doors are widely open. Yeah. There are some people who think that you are afraid of being tagged, and so you hardly speak on national issues.
That's what they say about me?
Yes.
Yeah, I've never heard that one. I want to focus on my mission, scriptures, Bible, the word of God.
Yes, but if you are preaching to the people and winning souls for God and the economy is bad, it appears that you may be doing all you can, but your best may not be enough for the people.
Against corruption in my church, everybody knows I'm very strong on it. People know the things that I talk about. I feel that we should use our resources very well to develop the country. And all that. I talk about it all the time.
We have about 4 months to go to the polls. You are not happy about the fact that we've had to change the date from November 7 to December 7, but that is where we are now. Initially, there were calls for a new register. What's your opinion on that?
We were told that the register were bloated. Yeah, a lot of people were not supposed to be in there, so they wanted it clean up and all that. And I felt they've cleaned it up. I'm not sure whether I followed the story.
Some 56,000 names have been deleted. They say they registered with the NHIS.
I really don't understand the two, the NHIS and the voter register. I don't know how that is too connected, but I think that they've cleaned it up. But they wanted us to redo a registration all over again. I don't know. I think that the financial impact on the economy was going to be very huge. I don't know whether there's a reason why they didn't do it. But I feel that there should be transparency, the voters register, and if we have to do it again to really bring transparency into the voter register, I think we should do it. If that's what the people want, if that's what the opposition also wants. So that it's not like you are hiding some names that you want to pop them up for during the results.
You have a program coming up on the 27th of August. I know it's a day for the disabled. You are championing that, but you would need the support of some other people. Why do you have so much love for the rural communities, the poor people, the physically challenged people?
Like I said, because of our rural work, we encounter them a lot. We see a lot of, if you look at our footages and some of our documentary, we see that there are a lot of people. I mean, 79% of the population of our country are poor. They live in a rural area. So when we go there, we see that is how come after preaching, after preaching and ministering salvation, we add food aid to our program, 40, 50,000 packs of food, clothing, tons of it. And then we also empower them economically, cutlasses, buckets, this, that, and all that. And we see a lot of disabled people all over the place. Now, we have a major program that comes up every November. But because of the elections, we decided that we want to lie low, because the whole atmosphere of the country will be in the frenzy. Yeah, and all that. So we said, okay, why don't you, so we come with the idea that why don't you now gather all persons with disabilities to the Independence Square, and then do the same thing we've been doing in rural communities here, because we don't normally work in Greater Accra. And we were blown away by the things that we stumbled into when we tried to do that.
Let's talk about them. Challenges.
Challenges
and all of that.
beyond your imagination. Challenges. I mean, we were surprised to hear over 2,000 blind people, 1,700 or so persons with abilities, burn survivors, mental health children, I mean, autistic children, Down syndrome children. The numbers kept growing. As of now, we have over 8,000 of them coming to the Independence Square, excluding their aides.
So these are the people with the real problems, but they'll come with others who don't. How do you seek to finance all of this?
Church, colleagues, friends.
You also need support from general public?
Yeah, general public.
How can we support? How can we help?
Yeah, you call our numbers that is rolling on the screen. Let's call it, or come there, bring the items, come and distribute the items there. We discovered that thousands of the physically challenged people and some of these beggars on the street, they sleep on cardboards and mats. Wife and a woman and her children. So we are providing them with mattresses. We need about 5,000 mattresses. So I asked latest foam, ash foam, they did some to us. Your good self, your company, your media, you guys have a lot of money.
Yeah.
I need a lot of money.
We'll be there to support.
We have a huge budget, so we are calling for help, friends, corporate Ghana, institutions. We are bringing about 300 medical personnel to the grounds. We are offering free medical services. We are giving them food, grains, rice, sugar, gari beans. We are giving them mattresses, towels. Some of them don't have sponges. They don't have towels. So we have ordered bales of towels. Some of them are arrived already. We are bringing sponge from Togo. Cut them into pieces so that they can use sponges.
Is it a day event? Or?
It's a day event. I've ordered 10,000 Bibles from Gideon International. They are bringing it. We have a whole container of wheelchairs, cane chairs, walking aids to be given to those whose walking aids are totally destroyed and they can't have them anymore. So we are giving them for free. We are also bringing cooked food, feeding them with water and drink. Coca-Cola is giving us about 10,000 bottles of Coca-Cola, special mineral water here and there a week. I don't have the details, but my company,
you have a lot of people coming
to support, and we need more support. I think a lot of people will be there. A lot of people will be there, and we are there the whole day from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. We are sure we won't finish at 6 p.m. We'll travel a bit into the night, but we are prepared for them. We are used to it. We are used to working long hours with persons with disabilities.
Is it open for everybody with a disability?
Yes, within a certain catchment area. Right now we are putting about 41 buses in strategic places that is going to bus them from 5:30 in the morning to the place. And then people, we have about 1,200 or 300 volunteers who will be there in their t-shirts to welcome them. And then we have a small church service, preach to them, lead them to Christ. Then afterwards, clinic starts, distributions, and we'll be there helping them, because some of the things we'll be giving to them, they can't carry them because it'll be too heavy for them. We're giving them buckets, soaps, sponge, mattresses, food, 1 lonka of rice, 1 lonka of sugar, 1 lonka of gari, 1 lonka of beans. You can't carry them. The person is on a wheelchair, you can't carry these things. So volunteers are there to carry them and help them into the buses. And it will be a day that they will never forget. It's going to be a special outpouring of love.
And I'm sure it's a day you'll also never forget.
Yeah, I'm used to those days. I've had lots of them across the country.
How do you feel after doing all of this, seeing the smile on their faces? Do you get teary-eyed?
Yes, I've shed tears many times, because especially not for those who were able to go to, especially those who couldn't get to see doctors, they didn't have anything. Because no matter the quantum of items you bring, sometimes we have about 20,000 packs of food, and yet there will be more people left who didn't get it. That's where my heart breaks, because you see mother and children gathering rice and beans together with the sand, and they will take them home and then
you start taking them out one by one.
Those are the things that breaks our heart. It's like, where were you? He said, I came, but ahead of it, I've walked 5 miles to come here. Some of them walk miles in the bushes to come and receive the food aid. We believe that preaching is not about shouting anymore. It's about social action, helping people who are needy. We think that Christ, that was what he taught. When I was hungry, you gave me to eat. When I was thirsty, you gave me to drink. When I was naked, you clothed me. So that's why we give clothing. And he said, when I was sick, the NLT version says you took care of. So we take care of sick people. We move surgeons into hospitals with their equipment, and we do surgery, hernia, goiter, swellings, all over. And then now, ophthalmologists have joined us. Now we are doing cataract surgery. 41 people walk into a particular clinic, and they came back seeing. They went there blind, and after the surgery, they came back. Now they can fend for their families, and that is what gives us great joy. But this one, because physically challenged, their destinies are already determined. We have about 200 evangelists who are going to be in the tent to pray and counsel them. And we are believing God for miracles to take place in the tent. Then those who don't get the miracles, there's counseling for you, how you can make your life better, that your disability is not inability. That's what we are going to talk to them about. That the fact that you are disabled doesn't mean that you don't have abilities. God has something in you. We are going to show them, we are going to talk about people like Vorjik in Australia and other people who have no arms, no legs, but are writing books, are preaching, are doing so many things. And I feel that our people need those kind of inspiration, that your disability is not inability. You can do something with your life.
He says you can do something with your life. I've been interacting with Reverend Stephen Atapinian Mensah. He's the head pastor of Charismatic Evangelistic Ministries. They have a nice program for the Physically Challenged on the 27th of August. You don't want to miss that. Come and help support the church and put a smile on somebody's face. Reverend, thank you very much for having us.
Thank you for having me.
I'm really grateful.
Yeah, happy to be there.